Hey everyone, welcome to Module 3, UDL Goals, focusing on representation, action and expression, and engagement. Practical applications of UDL. In this module, we will identify how the goal in the scenario is or is not available in flexible ways for learners to perceive and understand it. Identify whether the means in the scenario or how learners are required to achieve the goal is or is not flexible. Identify how the relevance of the goal in the scenario is highlighted, and rewrite the goal in the scenario to address the representation, action and expression, and engagement principles of UDL. In Module 2, we learned that Universal Design for Learning addresses learner variability by recognizing that students have diverse needs and preferences. We also learned that learner profiles capture the learner variability, which helps educators personalize the instruction, and classroom snapshots compile the learner profiles, providing insights into the needs of the class. Together, all of this helps guide the development of flexible learning environments that support all learners, ensuring that education is inclusive and effective. Flexible goals are objectives that can be adjusted and personalized to cater to the diverse needs and preferences of your students. They provide multiple pathways for students to achieve mastery of the content, recognizing that learners may approach content differently. Remember, learner variability. This enhances inclusivity, engagement, and accessibility. Universally designed goals are clear, flexible, and relevant. Clear goals are stated at the beginning of the lesson as well as throughout. They help students become goal-oriented and monitor their own progress. Flexibility offers multiple pathways to achieve the same goal, as well as anticipating any barriers that may interfere with accomplishing the goal. We work to reduce and/or remove any barriers. We also separate the means from the goal. Relevant goals help enhance engagement by adding real-world applications and problem-based learning opportunities. Increasing student choice, interest, and experience also makes the learning and goals relevant, and it incorporates diverse perspectives and materials that reflect the backgrounds and cultures of our students. Knowing if your standards are content-based or skill-based makes a big difference when you look to add supports or remove barriers. You have to understand what is being taught and or measured to understand the intent of the standard. Content-based goals focus on specific knowledge or facts. They are aimed at understanding and recalling information. For example, learning the dates of historical events, understanding the laws of physics, and or memorizing the periodic table are examples of content-based goals. Your assessment is often through a test or a quiz on that content. Skill-based goals focus on developing abilities or techniques. They are aimed at applying knowledge in practical situations. For example, analyzing historical sources, solving complex mathematical problems, or conducting science experiments. These assessments are often done through demonstrations such as projects or practical tasks. With your early adopters, reflect and respond to these questions. Describe a situation when flexible goals or options have made a positive impact on you as a learner. How might flexible goals benefit students in your classrooms? Think about how you can make your goals more flexible. Consider the diverse needs, preferences, and abilities of your students. Can you adapt your goals to allow for different ways students can demonstrate their understanding? When developing your goals, remember to utilize your learner profiles and classroom snapshots. Let's take a look at our scenario. A social studies teacher assigned students to learn about the causes of World War II through a traditional textbook and lecture. The goal: students will understand the key events leading to World War II and write a report summarizing their findings. To make this a UDL goal, we will first look at representation. Does this goal provide flexible ways for learners to perceive and understand it? Does this goal meet the strengths and challenges identified in your students' learner profiles? Explain your perspective. This goal is presented only through text and oral lectures, limiting access for learners with visual and/or auditory needs. To increase the flexible representation, we can provide access to multimedia resources such as videos, podcasts, and timelines. We can utilize visual aids such as graphic organizers and charts. We can also implement interactive simulations or virtual field trips related to World War II. Can you think of others based on your students' learner profiles and classroom snapshots? Additional strategies for representation include the use of multimedia, providing digital text, utilizing visual summaries, and providing annotated resources. Using the same goal, we will now focus our attention on action and expression. Does this goal provide flexibility in how the learner is allowed to achieve the goal? Does this goal meet the strengths and challenges identified in your students' learner profiles? Explain your perspective. Students are required to demonstrate understanding solely through a written report, excluding other forms of expression. Flexible action and expression could include allowing students to choose how they present their learning, for example, with digital presentation and/or creative projects. Provide templates or graphic organizers to support students in organizing their ideas, or incorporating collaborative work to foster peer learning and discussion. Can you think of others based on your students' learner profiles and classroom snapshots? Additional action and expression strategies include offering choice boards, utilizing e-portfolios, incorporating technology tools, and facilitating peer feedback. Using the same goal, we will now focus on engagement. Does this goal provide relevance to engage the learner? Does this goal meet the strengths and challenges identified in your students' learner profiles and classroom snapshots? Explain your perspective. This assignment does not connect the historical events to the students' lives or current events, making it less engaging. To increase engagement, we could connect historical events to current issues to highlight their relevance. We could encourage student choice in selecting specific events or themes to research. Or we could use project-based learning to allow students to investigate and present findings on topics of interest. Can you think of others based on your learner profiles and classroom snapshots? Additional engagement strategies include connecting the learning to student interest, using gamification tools, encouraging student choice, and creating collaborative projects. Let's revise this goal based on the application of our 3 UDL principles of representation, action and expression, and engagement. Our current goal: students will understand the key events leading to World War II and write a report summarizing their findings. When we implement UDL, our goal now becomes: students will explore the causes of World War II using various resources and demonstrate their understanding through an approved format of their choice, while relating these events to modern day conflicts or issues. When creating goals, we must be sure that they are inclusive and accessible to all learners. We must also ensure that they are measurable and observable. They should be clear, flexible, and relevant. Be sure to determine if you have a content or skill-based goal. Utilize the guiding principles to create attainable goals within your lessons: representation, action and expression, and engagement. Now it's your turn. Choose a goal from a previous, current, or future lesson plan. Identify any barriers. Utilize the UDL principles to assist you with revising your goal. Rewrite the goal. This is the assignment for this module. Please upload your new goals in Canvas. Please complete this before your specialist visits your school. Be sure you have completed all of your module requirements. The next module will not open until all requirements have been met. These include the module content page, discussions, assignments, and quizzes. Here are a few resources to help with designing goals for all learners. Here are references to assist with creating UDL goals.